In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the operating system that we're running, as well as the computer itself. So this is a macOS, and specifically the major version that we're running is Mojave. And we'll talk about that more in a moment. Right now, let's look at what we have on screen here. So we have an application running, we have Safari running. Behind that, we have our desktop, so this empty area would be our desktop, including this icon up here for the Macintosh HD. At the bottom down here is our dock, and at the top up here we have our menu. Now this menu is relative to whatever our current application is. Since we have an application running, that is the menu that it shows up here. So this menu is for Safari, which is the built-in web browser for Mac. If I click on my desktop, now it shows Finder as the name up here, right? So Finder is sort of the way that we navigate through the operating system on a Mac. Now I'm using the term operating system. What exactly does that mean? So an operating system is also a piece of software. Now you might be thinking, well, when I start up the computer, I'm not having to run any software, right? So how is it software, right? It's just automatically there. And just because you didn't tell it to run doesn't mean that it's not running. So a lot of things run on computers when we turn them on. If it's an Apple product, then you're running macOS. Or if it's a device like an iPad or an iPhone, then you're probably running iOS. If you're running a PC, then you're probably running Windows. If you're running a Chromebook, then you're running their operating system. If you have an Android device, then you're running Android. So all of these operating systems are software, right? And without them, you wouldn't really be able to do anything on your computer. It would just be consuming power, but you wouldn't see anything on the screen. And your keyboard and mouse wouldn't work either, right? So the operating system is what allows you to do anything on your machine. It reads what you're doing with the keyboard and the mouse. It allows other software to run on your computer. It allows the monitor to actually show things, right? So all of that is being controlled by your operating system. As I mentioned already, the operating system we're running here is macOS Mojave, and we can confirm that by going up to our Apple up here in the menu and doing About This Mac. So this will tell us specifically about our machine and the operating system we're using. So macOS Mojave, that's the major version, and we can see the very specific build right here. We can see more information about this computer. Yours may be different if you're not using the same machine I'm using. You can see display, storage, there's a bunch of things here as well. But the main point right now that we're going for is the operating system itself. In the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about what we can do in our operating system.